welcome back to the Spider's Web. As you know from the end of the last video where we painted the Ordo Malleus Inquisitor, the card that was chosen was the Sanctioned Psyker. So that is the one we are painting today. So let's get on with it, shall we? A change of specs. Brushes to hand. Let's see what we've got. Well, as per usual, as it seems to be getting that way, should I say, as it seems to be going, we are painting alternates. We are going from khaki colours and creams to reds. So which ones have I chosen? I've chosen Steel Legion Drab, chosen Administratum Grey, Boltgun Metal, Dawnstone, Screaming Skull, Ungor Flesh, Tin Bitz, White Scar, and an unusual one for me for painting with. This will be the Agrax Earthshade. I don't think I've used this one before. Haha. And we're going to be going over his flesh first of all with Ungor Flesh. And we're just going to... The one thing I'm going to enjoy about this one is painting the eyes. Simply because he's blindfolded. And judging by the picture, he goes to the same barber as me. So we'll paint his head as well. Stands. There's no point in being fussy at the moment on where I'm putting the paint. Just as long as I get a good coverage. There we are. And that's for his skin tone. Okay, next what I'm going to try and do is, when I say try and do, I don't mean try and do. What I'm going to do is his tunic. As I said, just for a change, I'm not going to be using the other ones I've used in the past, which will be the Talent Sand and the Castellan Green. I'm going to use Steel Legion Drab, and just because I fancy a change. And we'll slap the paint on, as you know, with free abandon. Just trying to get into all the crevices and the recesses. Again, we're going over the raised areas of this with grey, so don't be too worried if you accidentally go over this, because I'm only going over the grey after I've done the Agrax Earthshade, because I want to get the tunic done first, which is the most important bit. I hope you like the new way I'm doing the videos as well, editing down on these long parts where you just see me painting. I just think it's I don't need to show every little detail being painted. When it comes to anything important that I want to paint in, then fine, yeah, I'll do it. I'll show you how to do eyes, I'll show you how I do little bits and pieces. But to see painting like this all the way through, I think could be a little boring. Let me know what you think though. If you'd sooner see on everything from start to finish, then let me know, and I'll obviously cut these painting videos into shorter sections and have about 3 or 4 videos, unless of course you want to see the whole process in one video. But hey, bear in mind that can take about 40, 50, 60 minutes in some cases. I'll be sat there for an hour watching that basically. So it's entirely up to you if you want to do that. Not a problem. Okay, now I'm going to use the Ungor Flesh to go around his throat. Looked to me when I was painting it that it was actually a full of clothing, but since I put the paint on it doesn't, so I'm just going to put the flesh colour back on. Now obviously that is going to be in shadow, so I'm not really too stressed out about it being perfect coverage, but once it's dried a little bit I will be going back to it. Okay, so let us carry on, and we're going to use Dawnstone. I nearly said Darkstone. Dawnstone. And we're going to be going over all the areas that are going to be grey, which is the logo here. I don't recognise the logo at all. If anybody else can tell me what it is, then please feel free to do so. I'm wondering if it's some form of inquisitorial one, because it's got the letter I, which the Inquisitors usually use. And you're right, as I said, I was going to go over this after I'd done the Agrax Earthshade, but I can do that with, or I can bring it out a bit more with the Administratum Grey. So I want to get on the colours on first, on the base colours on first anyway, so if I do this now, it may be better than waiting. So do the outside edge of this colour. And the same on this side. There we go. What's that done? Next, on the back and on his head, I'm going to be going over with tin bits to get all the mechanical parts done. Not so much on the mechanical parts, on the metal parts, and I can but assume that all these here are going to be metal. They like to do a lot of implants in the 40k universe, I've noticed. There we go. I have not a clue what this may be. Must be some psychic enhancer or whatever. But whatever it is, it's getting painted metallic. There we are. Okay, so just let that dry for a few moments, and then we come back and have at it with the Agrax Earthshade. But I think before we do that, I'm going to take it off its little pot and just go over the bottom of it with the Steel Legion Drab, just so it ties in. This is the best way to get blue tack or whatever off something. If it leaves some behind, just get a ball of it and just dab it on, it'll pick it up. Well, you probably know that already, but just in case you don't, Spider's tip of the day. So I just want to go over his face again, because I've got a spot of grey on his nose. I'll do that. I'll go over his neck as well, not his throat. And that's that. Now, when I first started off, I would say that's it, finished. What you seeing the way I do things now. I've got to get these ones done. I'm going to put a video up of my early Space Crusade figures and comparing them to the ones that I've done from my newer set. I've not finished all of them yet. I think I've done the Dreadnoughts, I've done all the Space Marines, I've done the Androids, I've not touched the Orcs or the Gretchins, and I don't know about the Chaos Marines, but I'll have to dig them out and have another nosy, and I'll see what I've actually done with them. Like I say, his nose is dry, his rest of his face is dry, so I've put the sticky tack on back on the lid, so let's get the Agrax Earthshade out. Psyker, you're going to get a bath. Woomph. The Agrax Earthshade is dried, as you can see. That's not looking too shabby, is it? Yeah, that's one. Okay, so first off, what we're going to be doing is, with our palette and our Steel Legion Drab, we shall be mostly mixing a bit of the Steel Legion Drab with, and you'll be so surprised to hear this, Screaming Skull. And we're doing this so we can add the highlights to his tunic. And we'll do his shoulder, and coming down. Pick out the bright areas, obviously. Oops. Now down the arms and his back. There we go. Oops, off camera again. That's that bit done. Right, so we've done Dawnstone for the basics of the grey. So what we're going to be using this time is Administratum Grey. I'm bringing it to a point in that way. And I'm going to make this nice and bright. edge of that along the top and down that edge, and next the edging of the jacket, and we're going just in between the buttons. Oops. Okay, next, as I'm assuming this is supposed to be the Aquila, but it's very badly moulded. There you go. All that needs to be done now is the highlighting of his skin and the metal. So the metal is going to be Boltgun Metal, and it's just going to be a slight dry brush over the top. Well, not a slight dry brush, it's going to be just a touch here and there. It's not going to be a dry brush, but it's not going to be good coverage. It's going to be somewhere in between good covering a dry brush. You want some of the tin bits to show through. There we are. I'm just rinsing that brush out so I can get a finer bristle brush, because this next bit I want to do is the bits here, and so far for this it doesn't have to be wonderful coverage or exact, because I'm going over again a little later with it. Just want a touch more colour. Okay, that's that bit done, and now we can get on with highlighting the flesh. So we have Ungor Flesh again. I'll turn that round a touch. I'm using the same parts of the palette over and over again because, well, why not? Once the paint's dry, it's dried. And so put the Ungor Flesh in there with our old favourite Screaming Skull. Make it that much more paler colour. And we're going over the nose. Nostrils. The cheek. And now the forehead. And that is that. With two small parts to do now, one of which is the Aquila that's on his blindfold. So we'll do that in white. Unfortunately there's no detail in this, so it's just a shape. And that is our, oh, one thing I haven't done. I have a colour here called Ungor Flesh, and I think it might make quite a nice colour for lips. Let's see, shall we? There we are. It's quite subtle. There, put it on, but it doesn't look too bad. Next, what I want to do is add some light to this little thing on the front of his tunic. What I want to do is put a touch of orange behind these. Unfortunately the orange seems to be drying up, so I'm going to have to get some fresh, but it will do for what I need it for now. So we'll do that, but instead of having white, what I'm going to use instead is scorpion green. After I sneeze. And just a spot of scorpion green there, and there. Another bit there. There we are. I just need now to touch over with adamantium, Administratum Grey, just around the edges of this again, just to tidy it up after putting the orange on. And there is my Psyker. We have a choice now of 5. So let's just have a quick shuffle, fan them out slightly, and we'll pick one at random, which will be this one. I'll move those over to one side, and then let's have a see what we're painting next. So our next figure will be the Ultramarine Captain. There we go. So, until next time, take care, God bless, bye for now.